I welcome you all, both in person and also virtually. I'm glad you're here. It's my tradition to offer a gratitude, and I have a deep gratitude today for the folks that are on the front lines of our flooding that's happening in the Sumas Prairie. They've been out. There's dump trucks everywhere. There's emergency vehicles, and there are volunteers and all kinds of people sandbagging right now. So we'll hold a thought for their strength and their dedication and hear later today how that all went. Right now, I'd like to invite you to enjoy the music with our band, and let's take it away.
All right, well, if you're here with us in person, if you want to stand up and sing into this day with us, if you're out there on social media, sing along too. Swing open my heart, give thanks for the day. Gonna let love fill me up, get right back to the start. This is how I was made, free from the worry, free from the fear. I know Spirit is peace, loving kindness in me right now, right here. Sing it, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing it, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Swing open your heart, swing open my heart, give thanks for the day. Gonna let love fill me up, get right back to the start. This is how I was made, free from the worry and free from the fear. I know Spirit is peace, loving kindness in me right now, right here. Sing it, don't worry, yeah, you know this part, about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing, don't worry, sing it, don't worry, no, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Let's sing, don't worry, sing it, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing, don't worry, really believe it this time. Sing it, don't worry, no, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Wonderful voices. Thanks for being here, everybody. Well, take a minute to greet one of those neighbors out there.
I know. It's like,
time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Ooh, that just gets you going. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. My name is Ronna Biggs, and I'm your practitioner of the day. And I'd like to offer this time to have you join me in prayer. Breathing into the sweetness of this moment, I know that there is one divine light that is shining right now over all, over everything, and carrying this beautiful theme of gratitude into this moment and forward. I am so grateful for the sweetness of song and for the wonderful beat that matches my heartbeat and the divine rhythm of life. I am grateful for the clarity of messages and wisdom that flows through all and each one. And I am most certainly grateful for community and companionship and this time together. And I celebrate this day walking forward with kind heart and open mind and a gentle footstep on the earth. It's a good day. It's a great day. And so it is.
So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, this love. I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. As time has unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, make I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony. Play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and make my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. I will not be shaken. I will not be moved. Love, cover me. May my heart awaken, tenderness be proved. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, 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 love. We're gonna sing love together. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. sing love and share this out into the world. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love.
Thank you so much. A perfect lead into what I'm talking about, as usual. Have I mentioned how grateful I am for these musicians? So all month long, the theme has been reaching out, which is sort of the culmination of a whole year of looking at grounding into ourselves, discovering our gifts, understanding that those gifts need to be offered into the world in some fashion. And now we're at the point where I'm encouraging everybody to do that, to, do what you know to do, offer what you have to offer in all the ways that you have. And so just to recap the month of Sundays, so the first Sunday, I talked about how love is actually a power. We're not talking about the romantic kind of love, although that has its own power, I'm sure you've experienced. But no, as in energy, power. And like any power, it needs to be balanced. And so I also talked that Sunday about the incredible need to take time off from offering the gift so that we can be restored. The second Sunday, I'm sort of losing track, but I think I talked about failure. Because one of the things that happens when we begin to offer our gifts is we fail. We're not good at it right at first. And I use the analogy of a little child learning to walk, and how, when they learn to walk, they're not successful a lot. A lot of times gravity grabs them and boom, they're down. And so we too need to be appreciative of the fact that failure is actually part of the journey of being able to reach out with the gifts we have and offer them successfully. And then last week I talked a lot about how it's important that we use the power that we have for something rather than against something, and that there's a tendency in the world right now to be divisive, you may have noticed. And of course, that couldn't exist if it wasn't in all of our hearts at some level, right? And so to heal that in our own selves as well as in the world, there's a methodology to using the power that we have that would be inclusive rather than exclusive, would be for rather than against. And for some reason, as they were singing the song about love and sending it out to the world, I was thinking about, now I do not think about Vladimir Putin terribly often. In fact, I try really hard not to. And so all of a sudden I'm sending love to Vladimir Putin. And I'm like, where is that coming from? And all right. And then I realized that my love has actually sort of taken the form of an arrow. Like I want to pierce into his heart so that his heart will open and he will be love instead of hate, And that doesn't work, just so you know. So I'm standing there going, this doesn't work. What are you doing? I'm like, all right, fine. All right. Yeah, I know it doesn't work. So I backed it up and just love, without an agenda, without a purpose, just love. So today I want to talk about the power of love in kind of conclusion, using sort of all of that. And, the conclusion is this. We have a power. The power is so profound that when certain people find their way to offering what they are and who they are with this power of love, the world shifts and changes. Think of Nelson Mandela. Think of Mahatma Gandhi. Think of Mother Teresa. Think of your favorite people who, in the power of love that they had, were moved to be and to show up in a certain way and to speak in a certain way that in doing so shifted things. I mean, there's so many examples. And you have that same gift, and so do I. So the difference, if you will, is that something was a catalyst in their lives. Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., go on, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, all of the people that in my experience are way showers and are utilizing the power of love for something. There was a catalyst in their own understanding and life that allowed them to stand up and stand in that power for something. And so what I would say is that as we look at folks like that and recognize that we ourselves may have been changed by their journey, and then begin to look at our own ability to offer love, the catalyst is what I would encourage people to look to. And so I'm going to talk around it because I don't know what it'll be for you, but I will talk about it a little bit. So the catalyst is something that transforms an understanding into an action. It's like a chemical reaction in a way. It's like all of a sudden you put these ingredients together that have been swirling around inside, and boom, all of a sudden there's action. There's a reaction. There's something happening. And it can be skillful, how we utilize that action, or not so skillful. And of course, the intention is to become more and more skillful with what is seeking to be made manifest through us, what is reaching out with us and through us as an offering into the world. And so one of the things that's important to recognize in my life, and really I'm talking about my own journey here and sharing because I don't know what's important to you, but for me, one of the things that made me stop and look at how I was offering who I am and what I am was this quote from Thomas Merton, who was a Trappist monk, who was a profound mystic, studied Buddhism, was sort of an iconoclast in his Trappist brothers' lives, but so influential. And this is what he said that was a catalyst for me. There is a pervasive form of contemporary violence, and that is activism and overwork. The rush and pressure of modern life are a form, perhaps the most common form, of its innate violence. To allow oneself to be carried away by a multitude of conflicting concerns, to surrender to too many demands, to commit oneself to too many projects, to want to help everyone in everything, is to succumb to violence. The frenzy of our activism neutralizes our work for peace. It destroys our own inner capacity for peace, and it destroys the fruitfulness of our own work because it kills the root of inner wisdom, which makes work fruitful. So for me, one of the things that made me realize in my own journey of offering what I have into the world is it would be very easy to become so swept away by the needs of our world in the myriad of ways that there are needs happening in our world, locally and as well as globally and everything in between, that there's a tendency, if I'm not careful, to feel hopeless because there's so much. Do you feel that sometimes? There's so much. And I'm only one person. And so in feeling like I need to help everybody with everything, I can become swept away inside my own being and then have to find my way back to the core of who I am. And this is what Merton means, I think, in terms of innate violence, that there's a violence to the belief and the understanding that somehow I am the only one that can help everybody all the time, you know? And so, thankfully, with Merton's help and others, I've been able to do what I talked about in the first Sunday, which is, yes, use the power of love and balance it with rest, with pausing, with taking time out. So good. That's part of what will allow the catalyst of what we're to offer to react in a skillful way. So skill requires time, pausing, thinking, rest, contemplation, meditation. Otherwise, what happens is we begin to do good badly. And I was sitting at my Thanksgiving table with a group of friends, and someone was talking about the volunteers who had gone out to help with the floods. And for those of you watching virtually, you may or may not know that our county has been inundated with water, and that there were many, hundreds and hundreds of people who were displaced. Their homes were flooded, their vehicles were flooded, they lost everything, some of them. And so a huge group of kind-hearted, generous people began to move in the direction of helping, which, you know, Mr. Rogers always talks about, right? You've heard that about his mom, who used to say, look for the helpers in a disaster, because they're always there. So just like everywhere, the helpers arrived. And here's the thing about doing good badly. So in the, let's see, I even wrote down a sentence. In our frenzy to make the world a better place, it is easy to presume that the romance and magic of our good intentions will protect us from doing unintended harm. That's a line from Wayne Muller. So one of these volunteers went to this person's home, and this person was trying to slow everybody down so that she could decide what was going to go to the dump and try to save the things that were precious to her heart. Family heirlooms, things that might not look important to anybody else, but were to her. You know, I have things like that, don't you? That you look at them and you're like, no big deal. But to me, it's like, oh no, that my grandmother made that, you know, or my great-grandmother sewed that, or whatever. So this generous, kind-hearted volunteer who was doing good badly didn't listen, didn't pause, didn't check in with her, and just grabbed a bunch of stuff and threw it into the dumpster. And it was stuff that she had set aside because it was that important that she was willing to do whatever she needed to try to restore it. Well, we can do that. You know, it's not like that volunteer's alone in doing good badly. We can do that too, by just simply not pausing long enough to take the time to see what's needed. So that's unskillful. So what's skillful? Well, I have a ton of stories. I'm going to tell you two. One is from my early life in therapy world. You know, I was a therapist for quite a while. And early in my life as a therapist, it was shortly after the decision had been made in California, where I was living, that we needed to deinstitutionalize people with mental illnesses and send them back to their communities and their families to be cared for. And I was all about that, you know. I thought, oh, this is the way to go. But what I didn't realize at the time, and nobody else seemed to either, was that we hadn't checked with the families. And we hadn't checked with the communities to develop a transition plan to make sure that there was a place for those who were suffering from mental illness to go. And we didn't ask the question of like, well, why were these people institutionalized in the first place? Perhaps their families were broken. And so it was a catastrophe. And many of those folks ended up, we see them still today, sleeping on the streets and under bridges and in homeless shelters because their family was not equipped. Their communities were not equipped. There was not a skillful means. But here's another story that illustrates skillful means. And this one is about a wonderful group of people who are called Bread for the Journey. It's a nonprofit that works with small villages and towns and organizations to target and pinpoint the needs that people have, and then does a lot of back research to make sure that what's being asked for is what's wanted, is what actually will be utilized. And so this is a story from them about a woman named Dottie Montoya. She is a public health nurse in Espanola, a poor community in northern New Mexico. And for years, she has worked closely with children in schools, many of whom get their primary medical care from the school nurse. Because of her love for these children, she often finds herself involved with their families as well, visiting them at home and trying to listen for the places where help is possible. See, that's the critical, skillful mean right there, is she tries to listen to where help is needed. So Dottie told me of a boy, Roberto, whom whom she first met 9 months ago. He was having difficulty keeping up with the other children in class and was always getting into fights. Dottie suspected there were problems at home, so one afternoon she went to visit his mother, Rosa, who met Dottie on the porch carrying a belt in one hand, a beer in the other, a cigarette dangling from the corner of her mouth. Rosa was angry with her children, frustrated as a single mother living in a rundown trailer, and clearly unhappy with her life. Dottie sat with Rosa for a long time, offering the simple gift of her presence and her ear. Because of the lack of effective local services for families in need, Dottie had begun to invite parents to help one another with each other's children. Her informal network included many single parents who would help one another with shopping or babysitting or transportation to the doctor. And most of all, these parents were companions to one another. They did not feel so isolated and alone, and did not have to bear the tremendous weight of caring for their children without money, resources, or companionship. She asked Rosa if it would be all right if another parent from the neighborhood came over once in a while, just to help out. Rosa took a long time to answer, her loneliness in deep conversation with her pride. In the end, Rosa reluctantly agreed to allow them to visit her. Last week, Dottie told me she went to visit Roberto's mother, now 9 months after that first meeting. Roberto had been doing much better in school. His grades improved with no fighting. Dottie arrived to find Rosa's yard was now clean, flowers had been planted, and awnings put up over the windows. Rosa came out in a clean dress and asked Dottie in for tea. What had happened? What had happened? Despite all the social service agencies, government assistance programs, and caseworkers brought to bear on this woman, none of them had been able to provide the simple presence required to hear the truth of what was needed. None of these well-intentioned programs were able to see with seeing eyes or to hear with hearing ears this woman's deep, crippling loneliness. The unconditional companionship of another parent was a missing catalyst needed to help Rosa reclaim her strength and dignity. which were embedded deep within her all the while, however dormant, even in the midst of her confusion and pain. So for me, that's a very powerful story of one of the gifts that we all carry. Mother Teresa used to say that love is a fruit in season at all times and within reach of every hand. And she trained her sisters well. What she trained them to do was to listen, to deeply, profoundly listen, and to try to step out of the way of their own ideas of what was needed long enough to hear what the person that they were in front of thought they needed. So, for me, one of the ways that your gift and mine can come into the world in a skillful way is to begin to practice presence. In the ministry, they call this the ministry of presence. And it's both a gift and a skill set that ministers like me learn, but it's free range for anyone who would like it. And basically what it means is exactly what Dottie did with Rosa, is she noticed that something was amiss. She went and listened deeply and offered companionship. She offered what she had to give with no expectation one way or another, simply an offer. And then once the offer was accepted, she activated the offer so that it could swirl around and come back to the person who had said yes. Presence is a skillful way of combining deep listening, being fully, wholly present with another person, and having non-attachment. That non-attachment part is really important because, I just experienced with the song, I wanted the arrow of my love to pierce that guy's heart so he would stop being so awful, right? That's attachment. So pull it back. We don't know. So wholly present, deep listening, non-attachment. Now, I kind of wish I'd given you this talk before Thanksgiving dinner. Because where we can practice it the most is with our circle, our deepest circle of difficult people, which typically is our family. Not always, but sometimes. But we have lots of opportunities in this month to celebrate with them again, don't we? Today is the first night of Hanukkah. So if you celebrate Hanukkah, you may have an opportunity to work with presence. And it's not just with difficult people. You know this, right? Like, I don't know if you felt it when I was talking about Dottie and Roberto and Rosa, but I felt it again, even though I know this story well. I felt a slight longing to sit with someone who would simply receive me. Don't you all wish that? To be received, to be heard, to be listened to be companioned, so that you know you're not walking this spiritual path alone. That's the important thing that all of us can offer. That's the power of love offered in skillful ways. And so, whatever you're called to do, whether it's rescuing mini schnauzers or feeding the homeless or sweeping the path or whatever you're called to do as a way of offering, know that you have this capacity in you, this power that when used skillfully will land you in the place where you, like so many others, know who you are, know what you have to offer, and can step forward skillfully with that, with great love and respect. So I'll do a prayer, and we'll go into the rest of our service. Before I do that, I tend to listen to Spirit, because when I don't, I get in trouble. So this morning in meditation, Spirit said, you need to read them this poem. And it's a poem that goes around the internet now. It's very popular right at the moment, and you'll see why. It's also happens to be one of my favorites, and it's by Wendell Berry, and it's called The Peace of Wild Things. And I think it's just because because. So from spirit to your ears, when despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. And for a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Join me in prayer. There is a wisdom and a love that has no limit and knows no limit in you and in me. It is flowing constantly through us, as us, and in us. This is Allah. This is Holy Spirit. This is the Tao. This is Buddha nature. This is what all the great spiritual and wisdom teachings have sought to name in their own languages and in their own way. And it resides within each of us, active, always offering what it is. And so I know for you, as I know so clearly for myself, that with this presence of love and wisdom flowing, constantly offering its gifts, there is a willingness now to stand in what is true and to offer the gift that I have into the world, fearlessly and skillfully. As I commit to doing this, I know that that power is infused with wisdom, and I move with that wisdom in ways that are both loving and skillful, knowing what to do and what not to do in any situation and with any person, knowing what to say and what not to say, when to listen, when to simply be with another, a situation. And as I practice this and allow the power that is resident within to move, I am transformed, opened, and love covers me in every way. I become that love in action. And I am grateful and willing. And if you are grateful and willing, please say with me, and so it is. Thank you. We are going to prepare for the offertory, and I thank you ahead of time for any gifts you can give the center. We deeply appreciate that, and love to let you know that those gifts are utilized wisely.
For the sun that warms this body, for the earth that we call home, for the love that knows no boundary, I am thankful. For the trees that line the mountains, for the sea and life it holds, for the source of inspiration, I am thankful. Love, light, life, fill me up. Peace, power, beauty, joy. Fill me up for the one infinite divine that is and ever was. I am thankful. I am thankful for abundance and growing, for the mystery unfolding, for each and every being, sacred truth we are knowing, for kindness and compassion and the courage to take action, for the law of attraction and the freedom to create. Love, light, life, fill me up. Peace, power, beauty, joy, fill me up for the one infinite divine that is and ever was. I am thankful. I am thankful. Love and light. Love, light, life, fill me up. Peace, power, beauty, joy, fill me up for the one infinite divine that is and ever was. I am thankful. I am thankful.
Very nice. I like that extra little touch. Very nice. Very nice. I am going to invite one of my dear community members up to talk to you about our Giving Intention program, which I know some of you have been hearing every week. We're in our third week of a 4-week program called the Giving Intention program. And so, Price, why don't you come on up? This is Price Tsai.
Should I use the platform?
Yes.
Is that on?
It's on.
Use the platform as a fellow vertically
Yes.
low person.
Exactly. That's why it's here. We're short.
Yes. I'm Price, and I'm letting myself land and seeing all your eyes and your smiles, if you've heard that phrase lately. Thanks to a fellow CSL friend, I got reminded the prompt. You can't hear me?
Hold it closer up. There you go.
Closer.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Clara, for making things clear, as always. I had a fellow CSL friend last night remind me, like, how do I want to capture this? And it came to me, or the prompt was, why do I give? Or why does CSL matter? So why I give and why CSL matters is that, well, it's in here, is what I'm feeling in this live moment. But I actually would like to, I'm going to put this in my pocket, I'm realizing. That's just, oh, those masks. I'd like to invite you to practice something with me. It's just an invitation. And it's the invitation to look to the person next to you, and then the other direction. And then looking around, like letting your eyes go where they want to go. Maybe it's outside, maybe it's again to another person, maybe it's to the rafters, to the wood beams, to the decor, whatever it might be. And why I offer that is that for me, when I look around, I get reminded why I'm here. And Dr. Robin Wall Kimmerer, Braiding Sweetgrass, beautiful teacher and wise woman, offers and teaches in her Honorable Harvest offering is to sustain those that sustain you, and the world will last forever. And so when I look around to the persons, to the place, I remember what sustains me. Now, I did my best to bundle this up into just a couple themes, but it's really hard to say why I give and why CSL specifically. And so many little beautiful messages today, like we're like, oh yeah, that ping, and oh yeah, that ping, and that song, and that. So it's just for so many reasons. But some of the simplest reasons are that I've spent holidays with y'all. I've spent classes, times, frustrations with homework, supporting in some way, shape, or form, or being supported. I've had more than a dozen community members here show up at a graduation with me that literally, my graduation community that came was more than the class itself because of this community. So again, it's those that sustain you, sustain what sustains you. I've had this community move me from Bellingham over to the islands. I've had this community move me back because of a heart pull. I came back to this community because I needed to go explore and come and figure it out and come back. Probably will do it time and again. I've had this community premonitioned. Is that a word? Premonition?
It might be. Now it is.
Yeah, right? I've had this community premonition that I would get married and gift me a pre-engagement gift without even knowing I was quite engaged. That was you. I have this community going to marry me. So this community has sustained me in so many ways. Jobs, I'm realizing jobs, community events, roles supported me in my own vocational endeavors in so many different ways. I've also had this community teach me to pay attention to the goodness that reaches out to me. And through giving, it's the law of circulation, the law of attraction, right? Like, through giving, it reminds me, primes me to pay attention to goodness. And it primes me to expect, not necessarily demand or outline goodness, but to expect that it's out there. To find $40 walking around in Fairhaven on my birthday, just 'cause. I'm like, okay, expectation of goodness. It's literally that law of circulation for me. This community has also taught me to be in right relationship, and what I mean by that is, if I believe in that model of sustainability, sustain what sustains you, it means that I also get to practice what makes me be in good relationship here. I've had hard conversations. I've had repair conversations in this community. And that allows me to remember that I do belong here and that I can and I get to have those conversations. So giving to me is belonging. It reminds me that I get to belong and I get to take care of. And I'm honored to get to do so. And it's not just monetarily. I get to show up in volunteer. I get to show up in registrar roles and tech support randomly and mowing the lawn. I've historically done that. Like, it's just in so many different little ways. Another wise teacher and woman, Joanna Macy, also states, community teaches you to trust yourself. And I find that to be so very, very true in my relationship with CSL. It really is the opportunity for me to be in reciprocal relationship, and that I get to learn more about myself by being in relationship, continuing to sustain that relationship, both verbally, monetarily, time, energy, time, talent, treasure, right? And so that's why I give. That's why CSL, and I'm honored to get to be able to do so, to sustain what sustains me, because it absolutely is a home for me, family, as I call it, friend family. As someone who doesn't have family local, it's significant for sure in many, many ways. And so once more, as I button up, I invite you to look to the person next to you, and then the other side, into the place, letting your eyes catch whatever they want to catch. This is what sustains me, and I hope that some part of what your eyes caught sustains you. Thank you.
Thank you, Price. So just a little bit about the Giving Intention program. Every year what we do is we have a budget team that gets together. They look ahead into the next year, which, believe it or not, 2022 is almost upon us. And they try to predict what our expenses will be, what our projects will be, what we would like to do, and then they put it all into the framework of a budget, and then we come to you and we say, this is how much we would love to be able to have to do all the things that we would like to do. And so what people do, they don't have to be members at all, but they let us know. There's a form like this in the back, but also on our website if you would prefer to go on the website. And on the website, you'll also find a newsletter that tells you what we did with the money that you also generously gave this last year. And there's a nice picture of me there too, taken by one of our community members. So this form, what it does is it asks you to identify how much you think you could give in 2022 monthly. And so for us, it's really a budgeting tool. So while it's wonderful if you have loads to give us and you want to do that, that's fantastic. But honestly, every dollar that is reported as coming to the budget is very valuable to us. And just like you, at the end of this program, which next Sunday is our last Sunday to talk to you about this, Monday, we're asking that all these forms, either the digital form or the hard copy, be turned into the office, because then what will happen, I'm sure you do this too, is you look at what you know you'll be given, and then you do what you need to do with your budget. So you either trim it in different ways. There's not a lot to trim. There's not a lot of fat in this budget. But nonetheless, it could be trimmed if need be. And if everybody says, oh, yeah, we want to give. We love this place. Price did such a good talk. Oh, yeah, I remember. Sustain what sustains you. If we end up getting as much as we need, that's wonderful. How much do we need? We think we're going to need $200,000 for our general fund. And that pays for everything, really. All the staff, including me, the light bill, the maintenance, all of that. And in addition, there's a category down here that's called the Renovation Fund. And we have some things that we'd really love to be able to move on and do. So we're hoping that we can achieve $16,000 in that fund. But if you have to make a choice, like sometimes I have to make a choice, the general fund is the most important. And then the renovation fund is like, if we have enough money, then we can build the fence. We can build a bike garage for all the electric bike users that are coming to see us now, and things like that. We can buy curriculum so that we have a wonderful nature program for our children, things like that. And then the last category here is laundry, love, and family promise. Like so many spiritual organizations, we take the gift that we have and we offer it into the world as a community. And so two of the ways we do that is we channel money into a fund called Laundry Love, which purchases laundry tickets for those experiencing homelessness. They pick the tickets up at the Opportunity Council, go to a laundromat that has agreed to work with us, and they can do their laundry, and we pay for it. And we think that's, we discovered, we've been doing that program about 8 years now, and that program was a place that nobody had actually found a way to fill that little niche of helping people who experience homelessness. So we like that program, and we fund it, and it's doing very well, and many people in our community count on that. In addition, 4 times a year, we provide meals for families who are being temporarily housed and given all sorts of support so that they can find permanent housing and employment. And so our community, 4 times a year for a week at a time, provides meals. So they have food that they don't have to worry about, and they can just focus on getting their home and their employment settled. So that's what this is all about. We would love you to pick up one of these on your way out or check the website out. And enough about that, and let me tell you just a few other things that are going on. Today, we have a last of the season thing happening. Our practitioner unit, these are people that have been trained to pray for other people and really have brought their hearts to the community in a deep way. Offer all kinds of different things. Morning prayers by Zoom at 7 a.m. Evening gratitudes at 8:45 by Zoom, Monday through Friday. And there's another practitioner group that is offering a meditation for the earth on the 4th Sunday of every month. But because December is tricky and the 4th Sunday follows Christmas Day, this is the last one for 2021. And you're invited to go onto the website, and you'll find the Zoom link there. And the meditation is offered from 4 to 4:45 p.m. today by Zoom. And it follows Joe Dispenza's work. And so it's a really powerful meditative visualization. So you're welcome to do that. Also, be sure and mark your calendars for the upcoming holiday things that are going on. We celebrate winter solstice on December 21st at 7 p.m. here with a lovely service. It'll also be live streamed. Christmas Eve finds us here. You are welcome to bring children to either of these services. We love kids. And that also is at 7. That also is being live streamed. And then we have an in-person event on December 31st at 4 a.m. Yes, you heard me right, 4 a.m. Ronna Biggs, our practitioner of the day today, has been leading it for the last few years. And we're doing it in person this year. This place has air filtration, we're requiring masks, but we feel like it's the kind of thing that's best done together. So if you would like to get up and come to the center a little bit before 4 in the morning on the 31st, you will be joining a worldwide meditation and prayer that's happening globally. Our time, unfortunately, since they based it on Greenwich Mean Time, is 4 in the morning. So we'll just join all those other people that are rested. And it'll be wonderful. I also, I was sitting with people around the Thanksgiving table, and we were talking about the travesty of these polyester masks, which are so handy and so awful for the earth. And I don't know if you knew that, but now you do, sorry. They're very effective. But the person who was telling me about it said, well, be sure you cut the strings. And I said, well, why is that? She said, because they strangle animals and turtles, and they get wrapped around fins of dolphins and things. So if you're using these, take that little thing I learned and apply it, and you'll be saving a life, perhaps. You'll be doing goodly. Is that a word? All right, so we're going to stand and sing one last song before we head out into the day.
Anything is possible when you believe. You know, anything is possible when you believe. You can make a mountain move when you believe. Oh yeah, you can make a mountain move when you believe. Know you can change your life when you believe. Oh, don't you know that you can change your life when you believe in yourself? In yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe. I believe in me and you, I believe in me, and I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can do. Nah, 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 nah. I said I believe in me, and I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can do. Oh, anything is possible when you believe. That's right. You know, anything is possible everything you want, you got. I said everything you want, you got. When you believe, you know everything you want, you got. When you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll see you again next week.